After a long time, you may find it again. Make 7 or even 8 portions. You know not what misfortune may come upon the earth. When the clouds are full, they pour out rain upon the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, wherever it falls, there it shall lie. One who pays heed to the wind will never sow, and one who watches the clouds will never reap. Just as you do not know how the life breath enters the human frame in its mother's womb, so you do not know the work of God, who is working in everything. In the morning, sow your seed, and at evening, do not let your hand be idle, for you do not know which of the two will be successful, or whether both alike will turn out well. The word of the Lord. My dear ones, from these few verses that are in line with our being here this morning, first of all, with the wave of this customer week that we are having, originally it's meant for the employees of this bank, but then we are get crushers. God is good. So we are celebrating the gift of the employees to Caritas Bank, and they have extended this to us. But then it's good for us to listen to what the Lord wants us to use, what He has given us. From what I've read, I would like to share a few things, and then I will hand over to the MC. First of all, this wise man says, set forth your bread up the face of the waters. Throw your bread into the waters. The wisdom behind this is to take risk of moving from one point to the other, to the side of the water where your bread will be thrown. And he says, after a long time, you may find it again. And I think that's the reason why we have such an institute, whereby we throw our bread, looking for that in another moment, we may get it back. Then he goes on to tell us that we have to make 7 or even 8. We know very well such a symbolic number means to throw 7 in abundance, but then it's never enough. We have to do it the 8th time, and he tells us, when you do so, then you will get it back. Why? Because you do not know when the misfortune may fall upon you. And I think it's good for us this morning to be encouraged. Even if some of us, we have the vow of poverty, God has given us riches. And each one of us is being asked, have you put your bread into the waters? Have you moved out of your comfort zone to go to the other side? How many portions have you thrown? Of course, there's this spirit of Maisha no Maya, God is good. But then we have to be reminded that Maisha no Maya, but then you have to use what you have in this moment to make sure that when misfortune falls, you have a cushion for yourself. Then he talks about the disaster that may fall. He talks of tree may fall to the south or to the north, and wherever it falls, it shall lie there. You know, things will always happen. Disaster may always hit. But then, how do we caution ourselves against such things that go beyond our capacities? And therefore, we need to capture the moment. The Latin people would say, carpe diem, capture the moment. I thank God that none of you know my account in this bank. God is good. And how much maybe I have or my congregation has. But the issue is, are we using our moment to capture that gift of moment God has given us? Or we have embraced the spirit of Maisha no Maya. And then when it comes the moment of disaster, we have nowhere to fall. And therefore, Caritas Bank encourages us, challenges us. Have you thrown your bread? Have you failed to see because you are focusing on the risks that may be there? And the wise man goes on to say, one who pays heed to the wind will never sow. The wind in this case are those discouraging moments. We hear so many things from our social media, from those who have maybe encountered challenges. And sometimes we focus on the weed. The spirit of negativity suffocates our inner power, our inner desire to progress. And therefore, he who focuses on the weeds will never sow. And he who watches the clouds will never reap. Because the clouds, God makes it rain. And therefore, some of us maybe have the habit of observing and concluding and eventually not making use of what God has given us. And lastly, he tells us that in the morning you sow your seed and therefore you do what you are supposed to do. But then in the evening, don't stay idle, because each and every moment is a moment to sow a seed. So we can ask ourselves, what am I sowing for myself, for my community, even for my family? Caritas Bank assists us. As the MC has said, we are here to share knowledge, to share experiences so that we can continue sowing. Maybe some of us did in the morning and therefore in the evening we are waiting. We are waiting. No, there's no wait. Always we are called upon to progress in throwing our bread, taking risk, so that we may be able to live well today and in the future. Lastly, as the Latin people said, pecunia non olet. Money does not stink. You know, when the first toilet was done in a place there in Rome, and I think Sichel was being challenged by the wife, why are you charging people to do their shitting, to do that thing there? And he said, because money does not stink. Pecunia non olet. And therefore, it's a gift. It's a gift, and we need to use it well, and more so for the kingdom of God. It is our prayer today as we gather here as members of this fraternity, supporting this which is our very own bank, that God may give us the graces and the courage. Sometimes fear makes us remain mark timing. We are afraid of so many things. We have even created fear that does not exist. It's good for us to heed the words of the wise man and move forward and throw our bread into the waters so that we can prepare ourselves for now and also in the future. May God bless his word. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give a big applause to Father. Reverend Father Dr. Kanyere, we are grateful for your words. As always, we always invite you to our meetings because your words are quite strong, very strong. And I'm sure everyone has got something from there. Sindio? It has made us appreciate life, appreciate Caritas Microfinance Bank, and what the bank can do for you. And we at Caritas Microfinance Bank, we know that it is possible and it can be done. And Father Kanyere, please rest assured I will not check into your account. But like we said, the reason we are here is because we want to be able to grow. The next is a presentation by Caritas Bank Choir. So if the choir could be ready. In the meantime, as they are preparing to come, I can introduce my co-MC. This is Maureen from Caritas Bank. Maybe you can tell us which branch you come from. You can tell us which department you are in so that we can move ahead. Asante. For gender parity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kinyanjui. Good morning, everyone. It's so great to see you. You're all looking so lovely from here. Thank you for honoring our invite. My name is Maureen Mwaura. I work at Caritas Microfinance Bank, and I am based at the corporate section, that is Annex. I'm sure we've interacted with some of you, and it's always such a delight to be able to serve you and to see you. And thank you so much. Karibuni sana.
Thank you, Maureen. Now I call upon the choir. I can see them there. Mary and the team, kindly. Choir members, karibuni, karibuni. Your presentation will take about 10 to 15 minutes, and then from there we'll now go to the official speeches. Thank you so much. One of you can have the microphone.
pamoja, ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja, kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Eli wana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mji wa uzima. Tuungane kwa pamoja, sisi wana Caritas, tumuombe Mungu Mwenyezi atuongoze pote, atupe baraka tuzidi kumtumikia, atupe baraka tuzidi kumtumikia. Caritas, kanisa langu, Caritas, kundi langu, Caritas, benki yangu, twaimarisha, twaimarisha jamii. Umakini kwa wateja, wajibikaji wetu, uaminifu wetu na utangamano hauna shaka. Nao wateja wetu wanafurahia sana, nao wateja wetu wanafurahia sana. Caritas, kanisa langu, Caritas, kundi langu, Caritas, benki yangu, twaimarisha, twaimarisha jamii, twaimarisha sisi, twaimarisha jamii.
Thank you. We can get seated now. Continue. Thank you. You have the next 8 minutes.
Bawo usandisinile. Bawo niyabonga ngomba wena usandisinile. Bawo niyabonga ngomba wena usandisinile. Bele wami bawo naleduze kwami. Bawo niyabonga ngomba wena usandisinile. Bawo niyabonga ngomba wena usandisinile. Kokele bawo zunikokele. Kokele meli wami ezinsizini. Bawo niyabonga ngomba wena usandisinile. Bawo niyabonga ngomba wena usandisinile. Nikokele bawo zunikokele. Nikokele meli wami ezinsizini. Bawo niyabonga ngomba wena usandisinile. Bawo niyabonga ngomba wena usandisinile.
So Bao is a Zulu, South African, meaning father. We call upon you to always lead us in all that we do. In all the sorrows and troubles of this world, be with us or walk before us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. So, you have seen, we just don't give loans or open accounts. We also have talents in other areas. Sindio? At least that way we've been able to be enlightened in that Zulu song. And it shows that we are always prayerful, always grateful to our Lord for everything that, that happens. Once again, in case you need to use the washrooms, from my left side, you come out, then straight ahead past the parking, you'll find the facilities there. So, karibu sana, and we have got 2 entrances and 2 exits. You can use them as you go there. This event has been organized by one of our branches, which is Cardinal OTUNGA, PLAZA. So, I call upon the able branch manager, Priscilla Medo, to come and introduce her team. And then Priscilla, I request that you also then invite the CEO to give his remarks and presentation, and also do the introductions. Thank you.
Good morning. The Board of Directors, our CEO, heads of departments, branch managers, all religious men and women, all staff, and our esteemed customers. What a joy it is to see you here this morning. I would confidently say that this is the day that the Lord has made, that we may be glad in it. You look really, really so good from this end. And as I look at you this morning, I can see the wonderful works of the Lord. My name is Priscilla Wangari Medhu, just like our able MC has introduced me. And when I'm thinking about this, event, it takes me back to many years ago, many decades back, when I was growing up in a remote village somewhere at the windward side of the Aberdares Ranges. Back then, we didn't have the privilege of having to travel every so often. The reason being, we did not have places to visit because every other relative was in the village. So we didn't have an auntie, a grandma, a guka, or somebody to go visit in the town or out of town. When we needed to see such a relative, you just had to walk across the ridge and see your cousins, see your relatives. The only opportunity we would get to travel was the occasional educational trips. And that meant a lot for us. So what did it entail? It meant that we had to look good. It meant we had to excuse ourselves for such an occasion from wearing the normal uniforms, like Dolly, patron would say, those with colorful patches, the patches of many colors. We know that story. So that moment would have to go out, borrow a neat dress, borrow a neat sweater, borrow shoes, and the sizes did not matter. Bora uwe, umepiga luku. That is what we would say in the modern world. And it didn't end there. When we were growing up in that village, we would shower only on Saturday evening as a prerequisite for attending Sunday Mass the following day. And because the infrastructure wasn't very good, one of the things we would have to do when you are going for such a trip, ukipiga hiyo luku, umeomba viatu, umeomba sweta, umeomba dress, uko sawa, uko smart. And because the roads were not very usable, it would mean that we would have to leave very early in the morning. Na kwa sababu hutaki kuachwa, we would literally sleep in that uniform. So that asubuhi, ukiamka ni, you just leave. You would not risk getting late. So the anxiety, you can imagine with the children that time, that this time I'm not going to be ferried by the kawaida, zile malori za kuokota maziwa. That is what used to ferry us to the various places when like we are being taken to hospital or something, because remember I said we never used to travel much. And now how I relate with this is that tuliamua kupiga luku today. And because we were told to dress in a certain way, among the items that I have here, kuna moja niliomba, I don't want to disclose which one, so it relates to my story back then. And number two, the anxiety. You know the anxiety? That I have called people, will they come? I have called my fellow staff to support me, will they come? I have reached out to this person, will he come? But here we are. So probably the only different thing this time is that I showered last night and I showered in the morning as well. So I didn't have to wait until Sunday. And I am really, really so happy to see you. I had the two branches at Cardinal OTUNGA. We have two. The corporate one, the one that is sitting at the annex side, and we have the other one that sits at the Cardinal OTUNGA Plaza. We commonly refer to the one as you walk in, the one that is at the annex side, we call it the corporate branch. The other one, the biggest one, we call it the retail branch. So loosely, we refer to them as the retail branch, the other one as the corporate, but they are both Cardinal OTUNGA branches. And to serve you, I do not work alone. I cannot even do that alone. I have a team, a strong team that I work with. that I would want to introduce before I proceed. So Team Cardinal Otunga, kindly, please walk in. The branch team, please come in. Nimewambia leo tulipiga luku. So as you can see, this is part of the team because the branches are still running because we still had to continue serving the customers, but we have a good representative of the team. And one of the things I want you to notice is how young, energetic they look. So I'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. I know they are not new to you. These are the faces that serve you every other day. And you know them. You already know their names, but wacha tusikie huwa wanaongea vipi.
Thank you again, Priscilla. Good morning, everyone. It's again very great to see you. Again, my name is Maureen Maura, and I serve you at the corporate branch, Cardinal Otunga, at the teller and customer service desk. And it's good to see you from this end as well. Karibuni.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we are so happy to see you today with us, celebrating together. Thank you, our team leader, for this opportunity. My name is Zelifa Washira. I do serve in a loan department at Cardinal Otunga retail branch. Feel welcome, and we are so happy to see you.
God is good, and all the time. I'm Salome Njuguna, Relationship Officer, Consumer Lending at the Retail Branch.
Mungu ni mwema na kila wakati. Mimi naitwa Anthony Mburu, serving you from Retail Branch, Arrow Microbusiness.
Praise God. I'm Kelvin Motuma. I'm an intern, Corporate Branch.
Good morning. My name is Mary Murumbi. I serve at the Retail Branch as a Relationship Officer, Consumer Lending. Thank you for coming.
We have 7 others that are not with us here. Like he said, we still had to leave the branches running. So I have a big team, but as you can see, today tulisema hatutavaa suti because they make us look, you know, like we are very serious. Today is a day out with our customers. We want to be easy. We want to hear from you. We want, you know, when you're going out on a Saturday, you are relaxed, you are toned down. So please feel free to interact with them even after this event is over. This is your day. This is our day. This is our date. Thank you so much, team. So I want to quickly take you through the history of the branch, the 2 branches, and how we are sitting in terms of our numbers. So the first branch, which is the retail branch that sits at Cardinal Otunga Plaza, was opened in 2015 June. And the other one, the one that we're referring as the corporate one, sitting at the annex side, was opened in August 2016. And they were both blessed by His Eminence, John Cardinal Jue. And since the inception of the 2 branches, we've had the able leadership of several branch managers. The first one was Deuri Moshiri, followed by Robert Nyaga. We had Andrew Nyaga coming after him. After him, we had Joash Omai. We had Albert Kiprop, who happens to be my immediate predecessor, and now myself. And that tells you I am the first female leader in that branch. And it also tells you that Caritas is an equal opportunity employer. We empower women. We believe in women leadership. When we think about Caritas and how the journey has been since, we can see your support has really pushed our numbers, and we can confidently say that currently we are having a total of 1.242 billion. I said billion. In deposits for the retail branch, and we have a whole 535 million in the corporate branch. And cumulatively, we are talking about 1.77 billion in deposits in that branch. Please let us clap for ourselves, because that is your effort, our dear customers. We wouldn't be reporting of such numbers were it not for your effort. When you look again on the other side, our core business, which is lending, we are also doing very well. At the retail branch, currently, we are sitting at 849 million in terms of the loan book. Actually, I've 849.9. So I can confidently even call it 850 million. Please let us clap for ourselves again. Because again, that is the business that you have given to us. And again, on the corporate side, we have 63.8 million. Again, very, very good effort by you. And cumulatively, we are reporting 913.8 million. Please let us clap for ourselves. We appreciate this business because it comes from you. You are the ones that are keeping us afloat. You are the ones that have enabled us to read such kind of figures. They were a dream at some point, but they are now a reality. So we really appreciate you. And for both deposits and loans to have grown to that level, we truly appreciate the support that we've had from the parishes, we've had from the dioceses, and our dioceses and parishes cut far and wide. As we sit here, we are supporting Malindi Diocese, we are supporting Mombasa, we are supporting Homa Bay, we are supporting Marala. You can imagine, we are not just sitting and supporting just Nairobi. So that tells you how strong, how focused this brand and bank is. We also appreciate the individuals who are sitting both under the SBE, that is the small business enterprises. We also appreciate the SMEs. We appreciate even, again, the schemes that have given us a lot, overwhelming business in terms of consumer lending. And notably, we have Kenya Airways, we have Nairobi County, we have Utalii College, we have Technical University, we have Calro, we have Archangel Michael Security Firm. We also have Caritas Nairobi, our sister company. We have Archdiocese of Nairobi. We have CITAM. We have PASIS. We have the teachers and many more. Let us please give ourselves again a loud of applause. We have done well. We have truly done so well. Once again, I'm really so grateful for having you here and the support that you've given me and my branch, because without your support, without you, our esteemed customers, we would have absolutely no business. We would have to close the doors and we'd have to go and look for other jobs to do. So when I look around and I'm able to pick several faces, happy faces, new as I am. Sorry, as I was doing the introduction, I forgot to mention that I am only 4 months here, but I already feel I belong. As I look around here, I can count the number of faces that I know, the faces of the customers that I've interacted with. So again, that speaks to the kind of relationship management that Caritas offers to our customers. So karibuni sana, this is our day. This is your day. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity to call our able CEO who will do the other introductions and also take us to the next level. Karibu sana, Mr. David. Let us give him a loud of applause as he comes. Karibu.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Let's appreciate Priscilla. Really, thank you very much. I'm standing in front of this screen and I feel there are some people who can't see the screen from where they are seated, and I would want to invite them on these seats in front here. If you are sitting somewhere you can't see the screen, please, there are some nice seats in front of you here. Would want to access them to you. Thank you very much again, Priscilla. I really appreciate the day is definitely wonderful, and we are glad that you are here, and we want to appreciate each one of you for taking time to be here with us, especially being a Friday morning. Fridays usually have their own definition, and people will always have activities to engage in, but you chose to be here with us, and we thank you, and thank you once again. We're seeing quite a number of friends, colleagues, and business partners. We work together, and we all appreciate you. This is our customer week, and we once again say happy customer week. Karibuni sana. We hope we will continue being meaningful to you, because that's what business is all about, and we continue building this institution to what it's supposed to be. My name is David Mukaru. I'm the CEO of Caritas Microfinance Bank, and I am happy to be here. And I am happy to serve in this institution. I have a big team with me today, and I would want to very, very quickly just introduce them, starting with the branch managers. Priscilla said that we believe in women power. So can the powerful ladies who run the branches just come in front here, just come in front, so that our customers, our supporters, our people. Priscilla, come. You are also part of, I have not introduced you, you know. So these are, we have several branches, but today they are represented by the four ladies who run our various branches. I'll allow them to introduce themselves, but I just wanted to show that truly we believe that women can also run and grow institutions, and here we are, and we are doing it. So, Judith?
Good morning. God is good all the time. My name is Judith Lagat. I am the branch manager, Kawangware branch.
God is good, and all the time. When I'm here, I feel at home, because I joined this institution in 2016. I started at Cardinal OTUNGA PLAZA Annex. My name is Consolata Wangoi Gadambo. I'm at Donholm, the branch manager there. And feel welcome, and I'm happy to see you. I can see familiar faces that we started with that branch when it was opened. And I'm grateful to Caritas for the growth, because when I started there, I started as an officer. And that is one thing I always appreciate Caritas for. Now I'm a branch manager at Donholm branch. Karibuni sana.
Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. I'm from the diaspora. I just came to visit Nairobi from Kiambu. I'm the branch manager in Thika branch. My name is Sheila Mwabishi.
Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. My name is Priscilla Wangari Medhu, heading Cardinal OTUNGA PLAZA and Annex branches.
Thank you very much. We have Karen, our Karen branch manager, is out on an assignment. We're running a branch there. We also have a branch in Nakuru. who is also running a different exhibition around there. That's a fully functional branch in Nakuru. For the people of Western, you don't need to carry money from here. You can go getting it from our branch there. We have an office in Nyeri, soon to be a branch in the tallest building in Nyeri. It's called Nyadha Plaza. It will be the tallest building in Nyeri. We will be somewhere in that building. So very soon we are also expanding there. We are also opening another branch in Githurai Mary Mother Parish. We are opening a branch there for you. We are spreading and spreading very fast. In all the areas of Nairobi, we have what we call agents, and these branch managers are the owners of those agents, so that now you are able to get financial services where you are. Very soon we will be in Kiambu town. We are shopping around to see what we can be able to do. We'll be in Githunguri, we'll be in Kisumu, Homa Bay next year, Mombasa at the same time, and in various other dioceses. So the bank is growing and is moving in the right direction, and we are glad you are part and parcel of that growth of this institution. We will get there eventually. We are 8 years today, but we will get there in terms of growth. The next team I want to introduce, the team from head office. All of you can come, apart from the segment from the heads of a department. Head office team, please join me. Yeah, we have a big team, and today we are here to serve you, so that all the questions, all the challenges you've had with any of these structures, you are able to, we call it customer service week, so all your issues should be dealt with. So very, very fast. You say who you are and what you do, so that our members will know what they'll come and ask you for.
God is good, and all the time. My name is James Kinyanjui, taking care of the self-help groups which are domiciled in the parishes. We have about 207 self-help groups, and I take care of them and their members. Thank you.
Tumsifu Yesu Kristu. Tumsifu tena. Ambrose Karanja is my name. I support banking channels. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ronald Ratemo Onyinkwa, an asset officer taking care of the systems.
Good morning. My name is Ronald Abade from HR department. You've just seen an intern, so it means we also value CSR. When they come from school, we nurture their talent.
Good morning, all. And I am Sister Lydia Washira. I am in the Department of Finance and Strategy as a finance officer. Welcome all.
Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Kwa majina ninaitwa Manase Samson. Natoka katika kitengo cha HR, the Assistant Procurement Officer.
God is good, and all the time. My name is Roslyn Juguna. I sit in the Business Development Department, and I support the growth of SME business and micro business.
God is good, and all the time. I'm Alice Nyambura Kamau, Administrative Assistant.
God is good, and all the time. My name is Wilson Maina from the Business Development Department. I support agribusiness.
Mungu ni mwema kila wakati na sisi. Kwa majina naitwa Eric Nzafa, working as an agency officer, and also apart from lipa na Mpesa, tunajua ingine. Sisi tuko na lipa na Caritas ambayo ni ya bank, so apart from lipa na Mpesa, tunasema lipa na Caritas.
God is good, and all the time. My name is Brian from the Business Development Department at DSR.
Let's appreciate this team once again. Thank you very much. So they do all sorts of things. The bank is growing, is becoming bigger, is providing a lot of support, and I'm very sure you can see where you fit in as we grow this institution. I want to invite the heads of department who will also co-present with me today. Heads of department, please.
Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Kwa majina ni Dennis Nderito. I take care of operations in the bank. Good morning. My name is Hospita Wafula Sitati. I'm the head of credit. Asante.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Mbogwa. I'm in charge of ICT. Can tell you one thing about ICT people. We rarely come out. So for me to be here, it must be a very important occasion. You are very important to us. We make sure that you only visit the branch when it is necessary. So all ICT matters, all the questions we will answer to you today. Thank you.
God is good all the time. Yeah. So I'm Joseph Chiriot. I'm the one taking care of Caritas Bank Assurance. Thank you for honoring our invite.
Mungu ni mwema kila wakati. Kwa majina naitwa Evelyn Mutuku. I take care of the HR and admin department.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate them. You will see them back here again because each one of them will be doing a very short presentation on exactly and introduce the bank. We invited here today. One is during Customer Service Week, we just want to say thank you. Secondly, we wanted to also reintroduce ourselves. I know quite a number of you, we have interacted in various ways, but at times we interact at what we call at transaction level. At transaction level means that we only interact when we are doing transactions, business here and there. We needed today to come in and put in a little bit more face on the people who you work with. One of the sisters told me, I have never met you today. It's the first time. So she came because she wanted to have a meeting with me and interact with me. Okay. So for us today is to just introduce ourselves, tell you more about the bank, what we are doing, where we are. We have shareholders who are also seated here. We also want to show where we are and what we need to do. So just give me one moment to set up this system so that we can start off the introduction. This bank has been here for the last 8 years, and we call ourselves Caritas. Caritas in Latin is love. Yeah, they can also say it is charity. It's support. It's giving by the end of the day. So as a bank, the name itself is love. You can actually say it's the bank that loves you. It's the bank that where love comes from. It is, and that was the big idea of the institution. For those who are familiar with the church structure and the way it sits, Caritas is the development arm, the giving arm, the supporting arm of the Catholic Church across the world. Where there are issues, there are challenges, you will see a Caritas, a logo like that one, vehicle or on support, or and that is the development arm of the church. So the big idea why we exist is in line with that vision of love. In line with that vision of love, we exist to improve the spiritual and socio-economic status of our people, particularly on the access to financial services. We truly believe that as the church grows our spirituality, as the church supports us to grow spiritually, the socio-economic perspective of ourselves is also very, very critical, so that we don't leave one side behind. That becomes very, very critical. The two greatest commandments in the Bible are what that also defines who we are and what we do. Because in the book of Matthew, it says that you shall love your Lord, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. The greatest love, the greatest love. And the second one is that you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So Caritas, if you replace Caritas and put it in there, then that is what we actually do. And that's why this bank was started by the Archdiocese of Nairobi many years ago. And the history of Caritas is very interesting. It goes back to the year 1983, when the servant of God, Cardinal Maurice Otunga, was visiting one of the parishes almost in the Aberdare forest. On your way to the Aberdares from Thika, we have a small parish which has been there for a long time called Kericho Parish. And the people there, being the first African bishop, you can imagine the challenges our bishops are facing. We were used to a Mzungu, so we knew when a Mzungu comes in, we receive. But now, here we had the first African bishop who was now in his mission doing what he was sent to serve. And the spiritual aspect he would be able to give very well, but he was also faced with that challenge of the socioeconomic challenges of the farmers in Kericho Parish. And therein started the spirit of what we call the self-help spirit. How do we assist ourselves? The first president of this country said, Harambe, let us carry together. The church said, self-help programs. Can we start self-help programs? And the first self-help program was started in Kericho Parish. Today, one of our colleagues here said we have 207 parish self-help programs spread across the Archdiocese of Nairobi. And they are huge. They are huge structures. To date, they have an asset base of about 10 billion Kenya shillings. From the initial humble beginning in Kericho Parish, to date, there are significant contribution, and it is how this bank was actually born. From there, we had our Archbishop Ndingi Mwana Nzeki. During his time is when the strategic plan was initiated with an idea that one time the bank will start its own bank. The church will start its own bank. In that strategic plan, the idea of the bank came into being, and it was not until the coming in of the Cardinal Emeritus, John Jue, when the Microfinance Bank was finally established, was finally opened in the year 2015. Fully regulated, supported with all the necessary licenses, it opened its first door with 2 branches, which Priscilla is now heading. We have a significant opportunity. Our current Archbishop, Philip Anyolo, is now focused in terms of growing the bank to the next level, growing the bank outside the Archdiocese of Nairobi. We've just opened in Nakuru. We are spreading our wings in Nyeri. We are spreading our wings in the various dioceses across the country. So each and every servant of God here has had their own contribution, and we continue contributing towards moving in the next direction. And maybe by the year 2026, the question now is, where is the bank growing into? Where is the microfinance growing into? There's been that idea. There's been that discussion in the boardroom. Can we now transit from a microfinance perspective and become a fully fledged commercial bank? That now becomes the idea becomes the next step in the year 2016, where now we don't say Caritas Microfinance Bank, but we say Caritas Commercial Bank. Those are ideas. To support our people, to support the vulnerable also, we're asking ourselves, are we at that time that we now open our own foundation, where Caritas Microfinance Bank opens its foundation to be able to grow the various aspects of the bank. Then we are also asking ourselves, we have a rich church. We have a church that contributes, that collects, that invests in various areas. Are we now geared towards opening an investment bank by the year 2026? These are issues, and this is what we are looking at, and this is what we aspire to be. I've spoken about this, so I really don't want to go back there again, but I just want to talk about what happened during that 1983, because sometimes small beginnings can be ignored by many people, but properly nurtured, they can become a significant opportunity for the country. You can see in that 1983, that first self-help group, there were about 22 people who sat and said, we will form that group. And they each contributed a minimum of 20 shillings. A minimum of 20 shillings. That day, that Sunday, 680 shillings was collected in 1983. That money was banked at KCB branch thereafter. This is the seed that now has grown, those self-help program that now has grown this bank. It started from there, and it is where we are. The concept has worked very, very well, and we are glad that we are moving in that direction. So the microfinance bank now was started to be able to build on the strengths of the self-help program, which now is significant, is spread across the Archdiocese of Nairobi. Many dioceses across the country have borrowed the concept of the self-help program. We are now setting up in Nyeri. They have about 300 programs around there. We are moving towards Homa Bay. We are moving in Kisumu. We are moving in very many other. We were in Malindi the other day discussing with the bishop how do we support the diocese to set up those programs and be able to empower the people. So the very, very vulnerable people, we empower them through the self-help program. But then the bank came in to build on the foundation of the self-help, to build on the foundation of the self-help and be able to target more people, to be able to target the middle and the low income earners. And the objective is really that objective of socioeconomic prosperity of our people. And here we are saying we develop, and that is what this bank is doing, develop an advanced business model. So over the period, we've been asking ourselves, how now do we capture that moment? How now do we capture our history? How do we capture that history in order to ensure that we move forward without forgetting where we have come from? And that's why our vision is actually ingrained in the vision of the church and the vision of the self-help program. And we say that the vision of the bank is to be the household financial service provider that adds value. The people who started this bank said, we want to add more value to ourselves. We want to transform ourselves from the self-help program to grow from there and be able to do more as we move across. So we have captured that in our vision. And they also said, because remember, in 2015, we had 43 banks. But the church, the people who are there said, we want to start our own. So there must have been a reason why they were starting their own. And they felt that the structures then were not treating them in the right way. We're not giving them, we're not living the aspiration based on where we are sitting as a church and really and aspire to be able to give them the services required. And that's why the mission of this church, of this bank, is very, very clear, that we provide ethically driven, please mark that word, ethically driven financial solutions to achieve distinctive customer experience in a convenient and innovative way while growing our stakeholders' value. Again, adding that value for us is critical, because we truly believe when we add value at the Jumuiya level, when we add value at the family level, then we grow the church. We grow the structure of the church. We grow the speed at which we are able to move in serving God by the end of the day. Our tagline again, twaimarisha jamii. As simple as that. Twaimarisha jamii. Jamii is the community. Jamii is the Jumuiya. Jamii is the village you are in. Jamii is the family you are in. When we improve that family, and we in the church, we have a definition of what the family is, and we are very clear, as a church. And we've never had another definition that the family is made up of the parents, the father, mother, and the father and the mother are different sex, and the children. We are very clear on that, and it has never changed. And we truly believe we have to stand in there and be able to grow that community. That is our tagline. Our core values also focuses on that we are customer-centric, and this is our value, borrowed significantly from the word Caritas, and it is what defines what we do every day and what we should do every day. That we want to be accountable, reliable, definitely in terms of ethics, integrity is critical, teamwork, and that's why you see a big team coming in here to just be able to focus on you today and ensure that we deliver. And we want to be accessible and continue being accessible, and that's why we are growing. We are opening across the country, so that by the end of the day, all dioceses, every diocese in this country will be served. Every Christian, be they Catholics or non-Catholics, they are also around the diocese. They will be served by this bank. And definitely in terms of stewardship is critical. We are given the assets by the people, and we must take care of that. Our positioning, when all is said and done, what will we be remembered for? As a bank, we want to be remembered as your ethical financial partner. That what we say is what we deliver. When we say it, what we promise is what we will deliver. And when we come to you, we will not just give you a solution. We will ask you what kind of solution you actually require. Many people don't require loans, but they only require financial education for them to be able to improve their life, to transform their lives. They might be having resources. You might have inherited a piece of land. You really don't need to buy another piece of land. What you now need is how do you develop that piece of land. You might have inherited that matatu from your parent. You really don't need to buy another matatu. I don't need to come and tell you, buy another. We have now to improve our own resources. And that's what now it means to add value based on our vision and our vision. So we are clear on that. Our owners are we have 4 owners. These are based in terms of, the owners in terms of trusts. The church in its own entirety came together. The first 2 trusts, we call it the Social Promotion and the Education Trust. These are the self-help members. The self-help members are 150,000 across the Archdiocese of Nairobi. These are members who put together their own resources. Instead of getting dividend those years of 2015, they said, take a bit of our dividend and start the bank. So they gave 50% of the share which was meant to was to enable the bank to start. So the self-help members, I don't know how many members are here. How many self-help group members do you have? Please raise up your hand. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate those people. They are about 150,000 spread across the Archdiocese of Nairobi. They're the ones who put together 50% out of the 700 million that was put together to start this bank. They brought in 350 million Kenya shillings to start this bank. The other 2 trusts, what we call Luna and Archdiocese of Nairobi, this is the diocese. The parishioners in each and every parish, 117 parishes now. Yeah, Father Materia, yeah, 117? 115. I thought there were 2 more. We started. 115 parishes. We usually have what we call family days. Yeah, family days. When we meet, the other day we were at St. Mary's. We met there and we celebrated as family. The family day contribution you make in your parish, in your outstation, was the one that was used to plug in the 350 extra to make it 700 million to start this bank. So how many Catholics, Archdiocese of Nairobi, are here? Please raise up your hand. Archdiocese of Nairobi, parish members. You are the one who contributed. Thank you very much. You are the ones who contributed the other And let's appreciate them for really putting that money together. So that's how the shareholders are sitting, and that's how the bank now was started from 2015 all the way to where we are in Nakuru. It has been a journey. It has been a journey, not a simple journey. You can see it's taken us 8 years to have all those branches together, come up with a concept, be able to be different, because we have to be different. Remember in 2015, there were 43 banks. They were all commercial banks. But this bank is different. Are we a commercial bank? Definitely no. In terms of commercial thinking, our thinking is not commercial oriented. Our thinking is social oriented. You can see our background is really socio-economic prosperity, social, spirituality. Our background, our daily transaction, we are what you consider as a social bank. Many of the banks out there will be commercial bank. They'll be asking, how much profit do I make? We will be asking, what is our impact to the church? What is our impact to the self-help program members? What is our impact to the outstation? What is our impact? We are a social institution that is impact-driven. That is impact-driven. So even in terms of our prices, in terms of our products, that is how they are seated. Our governance is well-structured. We have a board led by our board chair, who has been a board chair for the last 8 years now. And I also want to acknowledge our former board member, Father Anthony. Father Anthony, you want to stand and just say, wave your hand and say hi. Father Anthony was once our board member. They retire on rotation because we also want to ensure that we keep on. The church is big and has many people, and we have to keep on ensuring that we are growing in various ways. He's a certified public accountant. Has been supporting various institutions across Kenya. Sister Mary Mbashi is also a board member. Is a director in the self-help program, and she is also representing the self-help program at the same time. And she's been of great support. George Dogo is our ICT board member. Was the one who set up the ICT department in Cooperative Bank many years ago, before he transited to Centenary Bank in Uganda. Centenary Bank in Uganda is the biggest bank owned by the Catholic Church, and we want now to duplicate that from Uganda, to duplicate those structures and ensure that in the next few years we become the biggest bank in Kenya. If they can be big in Uganda, we can be big in Kenya and overtake all the others who are ahead of us. And we truly believe that is going to happen in our lifetime. Not any other, but in our lifetime. Professor Peter Kiriri is a professor of strategy. You can see the direction we are taking, really thinking ahead. He's also a lecturer at USIU, and he's been with the bank for quite a while, supporting the bank. Graham Waliaula is also brought in by the self-help program to be able to ensure that he brings in the spirit of where we started, to ensure that at the board level, the voice of the people is heard, the voice of the self-help program is heard and represented, and the products are also designed based on what they are looking for. Dr. Anne-Marie Kirote is one of the newer board members who have come in, has had over 30 years of experience in banking, has worked in KCB for a long time in the mortgage industry, and he brings in significant resources in terms of how to run a bank. Father Simon is our finance administrator, procurator, as at now. He's representing the Archdiocese of Nairobi in the board, and brings in significant financial experience at the same time. We now have a newer board member, Joyce Njeri Munene, who has just come in, a lawyer, an advocate by profession, also governance expert, brings in the law part and governance part, has worked in various institutions, in banks and in consumer sector, and insurance at the same time, so brings in significant support to be able to grow the bank. In terms of management, myself, been in the banking industry. This is my 33rd year in banking industry. Worked in various institutions in various countries across East Africa, and we are here to serve. Finally, I am home. As you age and get to go home now, you now say you need to go back home and serve the church and serve the people who have made you to be who you are. So we are here at home to really be able to support and grow our people. Evelyn is our head of HR. She's here. She introduced herself. Has been with the bank for quite a while. I think this is her 7th year, and is giving to the bank. Dennis was also here, head of operations. Very significant experience around operations, and comes in to strengthen what we call the alternative business channels, mobile banking, to ensure that we are now up and running, and the transactions. One of the members who is seated here today is saying one of my big challenge is I'm not able to receive money from abroad. I am not able to collect. I'm not able to. That now is a big challenge, and it's a big issue. And I know you are working on that. Amon Karaoke is our head of finance. Has done a lot of significant work out there over 15 years. At one time was heading structures in Equity Bank, agency banking, and is now here heading strategy, at the same time finance, to be able to ensure that we are running in the right direction. Jeffrey Bundi is our head of audit. Really young people, you can see. So we're full of energy. So when we say we are going to be one of the biggest banks in the next few years, even the energy itself tells you. Bundi brings in significant SACCO experience, and Sospita Sitati. FA stands for Financial Analyst. Sospita Sitati will be here also doing a presentation, but he supports the bank in terms of credit and ensures that our businesses are up and running on a daily basis. So those are the people who are behind this bank, and we want to welcome you to interact with them where you feel we need to improve on. You can see we have structured the people and ensure that we are moving in the right direction. But we are here to receive your compliments and also complaints, and also areas you would want us to improve on. Basically, even if we are in the bank, we have a significant outreach, we have a significant business model, and we support institutional banking and the self-help groups. And those are at the top there. They are significant. They're the ones who started this institution. We had to ask them, what exactly do you need to do? We also provide financial services, what we call personal banking, to the various people. We have Utalii College here, we have the Nairobi Hospital, we have various people who we have what we call personal banking services. We have agri-businesses who say 75% of our people are farmers. Even you who is seated here, I'm very sure the phone call you have received is about planting, and the rains have started, and you need to send money for maize to be planted. So we are all farmers here in Nairobi. Some are telephone farmers, some will be heading in the evening to check on their farms. So we are all farmers. And we do quite an amount of activity. This bank is able to give you all the necessary support as you grow your farming business. Quite a number of you, apart from being farmers, you are also agri-business, farmer business people, and you also have commercial and retail businesses. So we also support you, and that's why we are here to interact with you today, to ask ourselves, how do we ensure that we have a very, very, very interesting delivery model where we say my church, my group, my bank. As simple as that. It's based on where we came from. This bank was started by the church, and this bank was started by the groups. And then we're saying that is the first business model. That is who we are. That is who we are passionate about. Those are the people who keep us awake. The people who are in the various institutions in the church are the ones who keep us awake. We'll come to the various parishes and we'll ask, what is it we can do for you? What support can we provide to the dioceses, to the parishes? What support can we give to the religious congregation? What support can we give to the schools, to the colleges, to the health institutions, to the parishioners themselves? Because we run a significant ecosystem at the church. 40% of our health institutions in Kenya are owned by the Catholic Church. 40%. 33% of schools are either owned privately or they are supported by the Catholic Church. When you consider also the other churches, we are talking about more than 60% of those institutions, both public and private, are actually owned by the actually what you call religious based structures across. So, and they have their own unique ways of working. We understand them because we are a child of the church. We understand that they need specific product. So those are the first people we serve. Then the self-help group members also, they have their own history. They've been on the ground for the last 40 years. This year we are celebrating 40th anniversary with them. But they still require a lot of support for them to be able to achieve what they call upscaled financial services that do not ask many questions, that also recognizes where they have come from, recognizes that they've been on the ground for a long time, and they should be able to be supported at the same time. And this business model also now brings in the other people who have not been in the Catholic system, but they felt that we can be able to work together. 40% of the self-help group members are actually non-Catholics. 40%. Yeah? But these are groups that meet in the church. But 40% are allowed to come in and also partake. So we don't discriminate anybody. We have Muslims, we have Protestants, we have various people we work together because we truly believe that as a church, we can be able to transform this country, but ethically, which is significant, and which is what is the missing gap, which is what is what we are actually doing. So this model enhances what we call self-reliance and also provides what we call financial freedom for our members of the church and members of the self-help groups. That the upscale financial services enables us to move. And what by the end of the day, there is what we call in the parish development model. The parish development model is taking shape. And we are asking ourselves, if you go to any community, the biggest structure in that community is usually the church. Is usually the church. The biggest community, the structure in any community you go to is usually the church. The biggest structure you get again is the hall. So you find that the church becomes a focal point of development. So you're asking, how can we now challenge ourselves, the people who are in the church, to ensure that development is not necessarily coming from out there, it is coming from in here. Development starts from where we are seated, and that's why we are saying the focal point of development should be at the parish level. That's where you'll find the farmers. That's where you'll find all sorts of people congregating. And we ask ourselves, how now do we use that kind of structure to be able to grow these institutions? So that is the model itself, and that is how we want to continuously move. How do we use the diocese? How do we use the branches at the zonal level? How do we use the deanery level? How do we ensure that we touch the lowest person in the community at the Jumuiya level? How do we ensure that our people are empowered? And this ecosystem is huge. The ecosystem is huge. And the two people we are talking about are what now we consider as our anchor. The way you'll put up a building and you say, my anchor tenant is Uchumi supermarket. Okay. That's a bad example because they are struggling, and we can now say it is Quick Mart. I will not say Tuskys. Can say is which other one? Naivas. You can say is that's your anchor tenant. That's the people you are working with. Those are the people you are. But so our anchor in the bank is the self-help and the church structure, because those are the people now we first serve. Be they Catholic, be they Protestant, be they, you can even see the people who are lining up here. We have all sorts of people, and we continue supporting them. How have we performed over the last few years? We're saying in the next few years, in the next 2-3 years, we will be in all these areas of the country, and that is the direction we are taking. How have we grown? Over the years, this bank has been voted to be the fastest growing microfinance bank in 5 years, 5 years in a row. And we are glad that you are the one who are supporting us. And you can see the indicators are actually, all of them, they are positive, all of them, be it profitability and all the other areas. That now is in terms of profitability. It's not very, very clear. We need to make it clear. But for the first 5 years, these were losses that as a business, any business, when you start a business, anytime, you first plant a seed. You'll not harvest a maize. You'll not harvest. You'll first plant a seed. So you go downwards. And you don't plant upwards. You'll never plant a seed on air. You have to put it on soil. And that's what the first 5 years was happening. I know the self-help group members were asking, when will we receive our dividends? You are planting, you will harvest. You can see now the last 3 years, the bank has been making profits. And we are now in the profit zone, and we have taken off, and we are moving in the right direction. God willing, this year, we want to see ourselves moving towards 100 million in terms of, that is the branch. I think the branch also, we've also spoken about them in terms of performance. Cardinal OTUNGA, the ones who are seated here with us, been doing a lot of growth in terms of customer deposits. Deposits have been kind of stood up in one area, and that's why we asked you to come, so that now you support this branch significantly. We support this branch, we support our own, and we ensure that the branch is growing in the similar fashion. In terms of the loan book, at the same time, you can see their growth has been very, very good. We will never take this money to invest in government bonds. When you look at majority of our institutions now, and that is the difference. When you talk about social banking, that is the difference. When you talk about social banking and commercial banking thinking is, I'll take this money, collect it, and I'll put it in the best performing income generating activity. So all banks, 65% of the liquidity of banks now, they've pushed it to government to buy treasury bills, bonds, long-term bonds, and that is the story you will hear out there. But the question you need to ask is, what about us? You have collected that money from us as depositors. Where does that leave us? Social banking principles is that the amount of money you collect in terms of deposit, you have to reinvest it back to the same community to ensure that it becomes an ecosystem that you mobilize. You are a true banker. You mobilize and you take that money back to the community in terms of lending. You give them small loans, micro loans, agriculture loans, business loans, trade finance loans. You give them, you empower, you enable the community to transact and grow. But you don't take all those money to treasury bills. That's the difference, and that's how we are, and that's what we truly believe, that we have to take that money back to you. I want to invite Mr. Sospita, FA Sospita Sitati. Stop there, then I'll come back later to just say thank you. Invite Sospita Sitati to talk about products and services. Karibu Sospita. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bwana CEO. You know, he has worked for 30 years. He has said he's retiring towards home. As a young people, we should start relieving him so that he doesn't talk too much. You know, it means he has also gone in terms of years. So, Bwana CEO, thank you for taking our team, our members, our customers through the journey of the bank. As I've been introduced, my name is Sospita Wafula Sitati. And before I kick off, one of our colleagues introduced herself, and she insisted on something, that the bank recognizes the fair agenda, the other agenda. I want also to say that this bank, as much as it started in Nairobi, it also recognizes slim, slender, and black people from the other end. So it means the bank is also growing towards the other end. So people from the other end, if you are here, know that you have your representative from Western, and I know we have Kina Mwambishi here from Kakamega and so on. So we are very happy, and we want to ensure that indeed this bank grows and covers the whole country, and it empowers each and every person. As I stand here, as I introduce myself, I'm the head of credit, and I want to take you through our product. But one of the reasons as to why I'm doing this is so that I'm also answerable to any question from the client, and to speak the truth about these products, so that when you be looking for those products, you are assured that should you not get the correct information, there's a contact person from the bank who is in charge of the same. So I'll go through very fast. Sorry. Okay. So I'll want to go very fast through. Sorry. Thank you. So the summary of our products for loan products. The summary is that we have various types of loans and we have various types of other services including accounts and insurance products and so on. So from our bank products, you realize that in terms of savings, in terms of your savings, and one of the things that I'll talk about is the financial literacy that comes hand in hand, that balances between the savings and borrowing. So when it comes to Caritas Microfinance Bank, we will say that like any other bank, we have savings product. We have accounts where you can just save in whatever little you make out of your business, where you can also, apart from just saving, you can save with an account that can give you an income and a return on what you have invested. So we have the current account, the Baraka current account, where you can have a bank check, a checkbook. If you are a salaried person, you can have an account where your salary is processed through it, and in the process you will enjoy other products and so on. As a church, you have a very dedicated account where as a church you can save with the intention of also being assisted by the bank in the process. Self-help group members, we treat them also, we dedicate ourselves and we have products that specifically targets the members of the self-help group. So whether you are a church member, whether you are just a business person, whether you are just a farmer and so on, you all belong to the bank in terms of saving. You can either have an account which is a current account when you have your business, you have your wholesale and so on, you pay through checks and so on, or you are just a salaried person, you are employed and you want your salary to be processed through here and so on. In terms of savings, those are transaction accounts. In terms of savings, we have Nawiri savings account, Maona savings account, and specifically I'll talk more about also with time about Maona savings account, whereby, you know, in life, today you might be having something. Today you might be eating, but you may not tell exactly what will happen 3 months from now. Even you look at our current economy. Next year, you may not know how much the school fees will be. You may be earning today 20,000 and therefore, in the process, you can easily pay 5,000 and maybe your child will report to school. But the way the economy is moving, and if you look at the levels of the economy, you may not tell exactly what will be the school fees next year. So if today you have something extra, sometimes it's good manners, as we'll be talking about financial literacy, to start saving for yourself in an account that is not only holding your money, but also matches with the what you call inflation. Last year, let me give it 2 years, and I'll talk more about it in financial literacy. A VITS was around 600,000. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, actually when I was starting my career in 2008, VITS was around 450,000. Actually, it was 300,000. Then it comes to 450. It stuck at around 600. Right now, as the performer invoice I'm seeing, VITS is 1.4 million. So if you kept your 400,000 in a bank some few years ago, and you wanted to buy VITS and you did buy and you said, I'll buy in 2024, and you went in that bank and it gave you 400,000, will you buy your VITS? No. You can only do so if you've saved in an account called Maona account in Caritas Microfinance Bank, which will be loading something every time to match the inflation. I'll talk much about it. We have junior. Today you are a new parent. It is so bad that you knew as a responsible citizen, you expected to have a child, year 1, year 2, year 3, you are told let your child start schooling. then you realize that for a child to start schooling, she needs uniform, she needs transport. In fact, the first day to join the school, you need a lot of money, yet what we are earning is around 3,000. So it will only be a responsible parent is that, and even nowadays even us, if you know that you have not followed the due procedure of the church and you know that something has happened, then you should start planning yourself for that child. So that when time comes and you are told give 20,000 or you'll be taken to court, then you have something to give. This is very important, and this is called responsible living. So that when we are doing exams in the next 2-3 weeks, class 8, why should you be shocked next year, January, that your child has passed and yet the child has been performing very well all along? Did you expect somebody to perform well in class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and fail in class 8? That is not the expectation of a responsible parent. So a responsible parent will come to Caritas Microfinance and have a junior savings account that this child will actually pick after 18 years and convert it to his own account. The difference between us Africans and Indians is that Indians, these are the things they do. The child just takes over the account that was opened years before even he knew about the meaning of banking. Then group, as we said, we keep on savings, and in the process we shall talk about a product that is linked to this, that as a member of the group, even when you come to borrow from us, because you had this account and you belong to a group, you have even a preferential treatment because you had this account. Of course, you anticipated something out of it. Maybe you did it because of belonging to a social group or saving, and that is it. In terms of insurance, I also talk about it in another platform, that it is important at any given moment. Insurance sometimes back, we used to think these are thieves. But with the time we have realized something, that insurance can take you from down. So insurance products that we have in our bank, I know everybody knows about motor insurance because of traffic police, not because you wanted. It's because you wanted to make sure that you are not arrested. But because you are not arrested here, most of us, we do not have this. And because you think, because since you were born, your father's house has never caught on fire, you have never thought about this. I'll talk about it. Until the housemaid will take you to court after Mechomeka na moto is when you realize that personal accident cover was very important. And I'll talk about these things. And I'll talk about last expense. I come from the other end. We respect the last days of our people. We value their life and we celebrate the last day they are leaving us. We don't throw their bodies in forest or we don't bury anywhere. We give them the last respect. And because of this, responsible family members have started opening up this kind of insurance so that they take care of the last moments of their loved ones. So when it comes to insurance, as a business person, even as a church, even as just any other employed person, think of the fire. If it takes down your business, how will you start? Where will you start from? You'll be shocked that if it, for example, I'll give an example of a house. We are all here. The economy is becoming tough. The life is becoming so challenging that today, in fact, I'm anticipating people to start stealing during the day, even if you are seeing it. That people will be coming to your house and they take that TV as you see. So the stealing will no longer be in secrecy. And because of this, you are here, you do not know whether you closed your door well or not. So what if you go back and you find that including your beddings are not in your house? And at this time of the economy, where even paying matatu, you are walking half of the distance before you upande matatu punguze transport, and you go home, a TV, beddings, shoes, your suit, and everything has gone. How will you start the following day? I wish you took what we call domestic package cover. insurance that covers you on theft, burglary, and so on. So that if things were taken, you can follow insurance. It will take you 3-4 weeks, but when you do it through the bank, people nowadays are taking insurance product because it is banks that are offering. People trust the bank. People did not trust insurance. But because of the model of bank assurance, it is now easy because you will not go to chase the insurance. Instead, you will go to the bank to chase. And because the bank has a reputation, it doesn't want to be seen outside there like it's participating in things that are fishy. They will always work very hard. And that's why when you take your insurance, please take it through the bank. Do not go directly. If you go through the bank, the chances of you getting a fake insurance is not there. If you go through the bank, the follow-up will not be a hassle. It will be the hassle of the bank. I'm through with this. We'll go to loan products. I'll talk much about these loan products in the next why is it? Sorry. Okay. So we will talk about various products that we have, and I will start with the Caritas Pamoja product. Caritas Pamoja is a product that targets members of the self-help group. To start with is that from the CEO's introduction, you realize that the people who sacrificed to start this institution, most of them were members of the group. So we felt like, because we are not here just to announce big profits and so on, why can't we find a product that empowers the same people who are sacrificing in their little savings? So we went ahead and crafted a very nice product called Caritas Pamoja, and this is how it works in summary. If you have been a member of the self-help group for up to 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years, or above 10 years, how should we treat you? Apart from the good interest rates, apart from the customized customer service, specialized customer service, number one, that from your savings, and let me be very clear about this first, before even I go to that extent. We know that in a self-help group, which is part of us, is that when you want to take a loan, you need to have a guarantor. For example, if your shares is 100,000 and you wanted 500,000, the rules of self-help group, which is like a SACCO, is that you look for a gap of 200,000 so that you can qualify a loan of 300,000. For groups which have matured, you realize that most of members have already borrowed, so they do not have hanging or what to call a space to guarantee you. Yet they are your friends. It's not that they have refused, but you may not get a guarantor. So because of that, we are saying we can still support our group members to continue their life even if they are unable to get a guarantor in the self-help group. So in the process, come to Caritas Bank with specialized services. If you have shares and you have been in that, because we are also looking at the loyalty. This number of years is about loyalty. You have been in this institution for 5 years. We should respect you. You have been in this institution for 10 years. Why should we start doubting you so much? And you are, in any case, even your capital is what started this bank. So we are saying, out of your shares, we shall multiply by 8 if you have worked, if you have been with the loyal and you have been banking with that self-help group. Because we also wanted to encourage the self-help group to continue being strong. We will not give you money if you left the self-help group. We only give you money if you are still in that self-help group and you are saving with them. And we are saying because you have stayed there for more than 5 years to 10, for example, we will take your shares if it's 100,000, multiply by 8, that's 800,000. But now, for caveat purpose, we are saying to a maximum of 750 unsecured. You are not going to look for shares to cover your 100,000. You are not going to look for somebody to give you 650. That should be very clear. And the same applies to all this. So we are saying, as a member of the self-help group, this is a very important product for you. So all these things apply. I will not go through this. Of course, if it's a business loan, shall give you up to 2 million. If it's an asset finance, of course, we'll look at the value of the vehicle and your membership of the group and so on and so on. If it's a plot purchase, we'll look at how much does it cost and so on and so on. So I will move to that product. As a bank, we have various products. We can start with the products that we offer to a church. And here a church, whether it's ADN, whether it's a congregation, and so on, all structures within the church. We can have asset finance. You can see so many schools you are seeing around. So many schools, even our own fathers, they are driving, courtesy of, they can come, borrow, and as an asset finance. And the good thing about this is that most of the time, for the church, we give it almost 100% financing. We will not push you around and say, you must bring this amount of money before we entrust you, and so on and so on. Many churches, if you see the beautiful Catholic churches that are built within some few minutes before the members can continue paying slowly, it's as a result of this. And I can give you several structures, including if you go here in Kiturai, a big structure giving business. It's courtesy of Caritas Bank. We have so many buildings. We have so many schools where the church has approached us and we have assisted. Apart from asset finance and business development, we are also offering tithe collection. My colleague will talk here about Lipa na Caritas. My colleague will talk here about how we mobilize. We give even CIT. If the church or it has done a harambe or an institution related to the church and has done a harambe and they fear to work with money, they will just call us. We will pick money. It will be our responsibility how it will reach to your account. If somebody did anything on the way, we will not tell you that tulinyang'anya pesa yako. No. Once we take it from you, it's our responsibility. Insurance premium for motor vehicles. Sometimes, like if you go for school buses and so on, insurance premium can be as high as 400,000. Where would you get that money? Or just so that you are given the insurance? You can only come through the bank. I will give you a small loan and say pay for 8 months. Then you do what? You ensure that you comply with the law. I'll go very fast. And same applies to the hospitals. We are giving these products to the hospitals. We are building hospitals. A lot of ambulances. If you see, and as my CEO said, that for 33 or 44, 40% of health institutions are controlled by the Catholic ecosystem, the church. So this is not government funding this. They fund themselves. And because they cannot wait to collect money so that they can come up with a 4-story building, they just come directly to us and we finance and they move on. I'll move same to school. I've already talked about this. I'll not go through it, but the same model applies. So many schools, we finance 100% financing. Some schools here now in Nairobi, because now transport industry is now, if you see buses, some buses even from this school can carry students for other schools. So there's some even schools with 300 students, but they have 10 buses. So some of the buses are serving other schools. So that's a business model nowadays. That's how schools are now improving the revenue. You don't buy buses because you only carry your children or your student pupils and so on. You even buy extra buses to provide those services to the next school. And because the next school may not have the privilege of coming to Caritas and have 100% financing with a longer period, then even you as an institution, you can come and do it. All these products also apply to other members apart from the church. Even if you are not a Catholic person and you want these products, we offer the same. I'll quickly go to this. This is a mobile lending platform. Caritas Bank, like any other financial institution, we also value efficiency and accessibility. That you do not need to come and start bleating with the people, queuing, filling forms so that you can just access 5,000 to allow your child to go back to school as transport. That most of the students will be now denied entry to do exams simply because you do not complete 3,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000. If you have this mobile application, you can just go there. If you do not have an application, it's *810#. Then it's very easy to use, and you can easily borrow this money. You pay it within a month, and so on. And I'll talk more about some of these products. Then I'll quickly, of course, bank assurance, I've scoped it in my previous, yes. My colleague will come and talk more about the bank assurance product. Then after that, just a minute maybe. After that, you just come and represent the bank assurance, so that if there's any question, you'll see who is the contact person and so on. But just to kind of complete on this part is that as a bank, we do not work alone. We also have friends who support us in the process of doing business. And as my CEO had already pointed out, some of the key partners is the Caritas Nairobi, who assist us when we are dealing with the Caritas Pamoja initiatives, which mostly deals with the group welfare. And we also the same, we deal with the agriculture, related value chain, financing. We have an association that has to do with medical in Catholic institutions, and we partner with them when we are financing those things we have seen, the medical equipment, the ambulances, and so on. And above all, this being a Christian, a faith-based institution, we value ethical. And we are a member of other financial institutions that value ethics in whatever they are doing. So as a result, we support each other in terms of training, in terms of coming up with ways of how to make an environment to be a respectable environment in terms of lending. So I'll stop there and allow my colleague who is in the insurance, so that you can also know who is the contact person should you have a need of these insurance services. Thank you. Karibu.
Good morning once more. Okay, so I'm Joseph Chiriot. I'm the one heading Caritas Bank Assurance Intermediary Limited. So my presentation will be a short one. So previous story about Caritas Bank Assurance Intermediary Limited is that we are fully owned by the bank. That is, we are a subsidiary of Caritas Microfinance Bank. And us, we are regulated by IRA, that is Insurance Regulatory Authority. And we have partnered with several insurance companies to sell insurance on their behalf. So we have partnered with Purchase Insurance, we have partnered with Britam, Jubilee, CIC, so that we can sell the insurance on their behalf. Our product, as my colleague has initially told you about, we have motor insurance. As you all know, it's a requirement in the country that according to Road Act that each vehicle which is in a Kenyan road needs to have insurance. So we offer also insurance that is for third parties, for motor private, for motor commercials, and all kinds of motor insurance. We also have insurance for medical, that is L insurance. We have partnered with insurance companies which offer medical insurance, and we offer that for both inpatient and outpatient. Also, we have personal accident cover. That is the insurance we usually offer for those people who are going for internship or attachment. As you have seen when they were introducing themselves, it's a requirement that when they are going for attachment or internship, they need to have an insurance in place. That insurance is known as personal accident cover. And then also, we have fire insurance. That is for those customers who want to use, most customers nowadays, they use their property as collateral. We usually make sure that they have insurance in place, fire insurance in place, so that in case of anything, we are able to compensate them, and they are able to build back the portion they were prior to the occurrence of that event. So fire insurance is very important.
and it usually provides cover for damages or destruction to insured property. The other insurance also we offer is for domestic package. This one is, we usually make sure that we insure the house content. That is what you have in the house. That is electronics, your furniture, and also your clothing. So that one also is very important, and we offer that one. And usually the premium is, the minimum premium is usually 3,000, so it's actually very cheap. And in case of anything, you are able, the insurance company will be able to compensate you. So this cover, I encourage all of you to have it. The other also insurance we have is last expense cover. Last expense cover, which as my colleague has said, that is like a funeral cover, whereby usually nowadays we organize ourselves. If you want a decent send-off, we usually organize so that we avoid a scenario whereby you form a rambe when someone passes on. Usually organize, make sure that you organize for your send-off or for your relative send-off, so that it's last expense. And then we also have covers for contractors. The same time we have for marine, and then also travel insurance for most of you who have been traveling outside the country or within. It's advisable that you have travel insurance in place. And then also we offer group life. This is a cover which is usually for the employers, and we have that one. So actually the main reason why I will encourage you to take cover through Caritas Bank Assurance intermediaries, because we can assure you that we work with insurance companies, we are partnered with insurance companies, we assure that in case of anything, we are able to compensate you on time. And also the other thing is, as my colleague was presenting, there is that element of IPF, that is insurance premium financing. That is a loan for payment of premium. Premium actually is the payment you make when you are buying insurance. So we are partnered, we have a good product, and this product actually is for those customers who are not able to pay for premium at that time, we can give them a loan. So that's the reason why we encourage you to take through us. And when you take through us, we also negotiated good rates for you. The other thing also we encourage you to take through bank assurance, Caritas Bank Assurance is also, we have negotiated good rates for you. And the partners we have partnered with, that is insurance companies, we have negotiated good rates for you. If you go outside, you go directly to them, I assure you that they'll give you high rates. But if you take through us, we have good. And then also, we encourage you to take is because we have competent staff whom they will give you excellent customer service. Excellent customer service.
thank you very much. And just say, this is the beginning of our long journey. We are requesting for your support. The distance we need to go. Is it speaking? For the TV. Oh, he's saying for the TV, but it will not come to you, because we are also trying to reach a bigger audience of our people. So we are also doing this. So I was just saying that we really need to start to thank you a lot. This is what we've been able to do for the last 8 years. The journey is still on. We seek your support. You as a leader, as a church leader, you as a business leader, we seek your support so that now we grow this institution. We truly can be able to have a strong partnership to ensure that we provide ethically driven financial solutions. Ethically driven financial solutions. The challenges our people are going through is because we are doing so many things at the same time, but we are not receiving things from an ethical perspective. The other day, you saw some people along one of the roads in Muranga. This guy bought some nice avocados and they landed at home. And he saw, sinajua avocado rangi yake ni gani? The nice ripe avocado. It's usually very good golden color. And he lands at home and wants to cut one very, very fast, only to realize the avocado is not even eatable. It is not has not ripened. It has been painted the color that you want to see when you are buying, and that's it's about ethics. It's truly about ethics, and we really need to be champions. And this bank wants to champion that. And that when we talk about parish development model, it is also to ensure we bring ethics and ethos from a church perspective and tell our people that you must do good for you to receive an income. So there is a bigger picture we are painting ourselves. There is a bigger responsibility that we need to deal with. I was in Mombasa, I mentioned to you, and we were now talking to the hospital administrators. And the biggest problem they have is receiving money from NHIF. All our hospitals are having challenges in terms of liquidity. All of them. They are failing to repay their loans because of lack of payment of NHIF. And as a bank, as a Catholic ecosystem, we are asking ourselves, as a religious ecosystem, we are asking ourselves, can't we be able to develop our own ecosystem that is able to ensure that there is health to each and every person on the ground? These are issues. Yeah? We might not have an answer now, but we have a conversation on the table that is able to come in and sort out some of these matters. Because from a bigger picture, these are strategic issues that we are also taking care of as we move this bank. So that is our presentation. I know the MC will come and talk about all the other things, but I just wanted to come back and say that's the end of the presentation from where we are. And thank you very much. Give us feedback. Tell us where we need to improve. Give us ideas and tell us where we are failing, where we need to ensure that we are doing the correct thing. Mr. MC, thank you very much.
A big clap for the CEO. That marks the end of the presentations by Caritas Microfinance Bank. So within the next 20 minutes, I promise you that we shall be through. And that's why we've noticed the energy levels are down. That's why we've given something just to hold us until we have the breakfast in 20 minutes. Looking at the biscuits, I'm sure you have noticed what that company is doing. Instead of increasing the price of the biscuit, what do? It's a business model, eh? I'm sure you have noticed, eh? You reduce the size of the biscuits, and in some of them, instead of 5, there are 3 or 4. Sindio? Yeah, so it's called cleverness of being born with. Now, we have some success stories, because all said and done, that has come from the side of the Caritas Bank. Now, it's time for us to hear from the customers themselves. how they have benefited, how they have been able to undertake their business, how they've been able to move their business from one point to the other. We've got several. We've got Grace from Jekri Enterprises. We've got Dr. Lubobi. We've got Dr. Lawrence Ndombi. And we also have Father Karengo wa Mutonga. So we start off with Grace of Jekri Enterprises. I believe she's in the house. Karibu sana, Grace. You will project from here because as we are trying to repair the system, this one is going straight to Capuchin TV. Okay. Karibu sana, Grace.
God is good.
All the time.
And all the time. My name is Grace Juguna. I am the director of Jekri Enterprises Limited. I'm a recruiter. I do local and foreign employment. And my journey with Caritas way back in 2020 in February, I needed an asset finance. And usually what you do, you go to your bank. Then I was not banking with Caritas, so I went to my bank and I told them what I wanted, and the bureaucracy there was too much. So I went back to the supplier. I told him that I will get the loan, but it will take some time. So he introduced me to Caritas, gave me a contact for a officer by the name Patrick. I think now he's in Nakuru. So on 25th February, Patrick came to my office, took my statement, talked to me, got to understand what I'm doing. And he told me just give me a few days. And true to his word, on 3rd of March, I got an offer. That was quite fast. Remember, I was not their customer then. So I came in needing money, not even banking. For me, I would consider Caritas as a friend in need because they came through when I needed them. And since then, I made a decision and I opened an account with them. We've not had so much good business since COVID because especially for the foreign employment, it means people traveling. So there was the ban. So from March till around November, we had like zero business. So again, I had to sit down with them and like restructure my loan, at least like do 50%, which they accepted. And I tried like, like you compare where you are and where you are and who has brought you there. Because again, this year, I went back to them, I told them, yes, because of the economic status, the business has not picked up and I need some support. And they still gave me a top up. So Patrick gave me Zelifa, who is now my current loan officer. And so far, so good. One thing that stood with Caritas is their customer service, their efficiency, the transparency. They take you through, like they feel you, they understand what you're doing, understand where you're coming from, where you're going to. As an agent, let me put this here, at times we do not have so much good name. So of course, everybody will feel like you're a risk, but we have ethical recruiters, we are licensed. And of course, we have to act as a bridge between the employer and the employee, be it locally or even at the foreign country. And even our people who are traveling, there's something that also has come up which maybe Caritas could look into. We have people who are traveling and they ask us a question now and then, which bank can you recommend to have like diaspora banking? When they are out there, maybe they're able to have a one-on-one with their specific officers, because if you, assuming you're maybe in Canada or even Qatar, who do you talk to? You can't be there physically, maybe you need to check on something. Can you be connected with someone who can be able to reach out to? I know like cooperative, they have SAPT, yeah? So today I'm putting like a challenge to Caritas. Please think about diaspora banking also. It will help a lot. And personally, and maybe I can also liaise with other agents who are licensed so that we don't tarnish your name. We can also come in and like a recommendation. So to anybody here who is not with Caritas, I would highly recommend them. And true to their tagline, Wanainua Jamii. Thank you so much, and I'm honored to be part of today, and actually to be the first customer to speak out. Zeli told me in the morning, and I was like, you didn't tell me yesterday, and she said, no, there's nothing like preparing. You're saying what you've gone through. And thank you so much. God bless you.
I will not paraphrase her words. Si ameongea na amesikika. A friend in need is a friend Indeed, that is what Caritas Bank is to Grace, and we are grateful, Grace, and that is what we can be for you. Let me call upon the next person, Dr. Lubobi. Daktari. Thank you, thank you. Tumpigie makofi as he comes.
Ladies and good morning, everyone. I will not belabor you with a lot of information. Much has been said. I have been my journey with the Caritas has been only 3 years since 2021, and just a small story is that when I was growing up, my follower is a girl. So my mother, we were not. It was not a very well-off family. So my mother did not used to buy me clothes because I'm a boy. Hizo nguo za sistangu tu ndio zenye alikuwa ananivalisha. So it took me long to know am I a boy or a girl. But with the time nil realize hizi nguo zenye navalishwa si za kijana. So fika mahali nikakata nikasema hii sitavaa leo. So that has been my journey with the Caritas since 2021. Vile I realized that they are very approachable. Ni watu wenye unaweza work now easily. I went back to school. So every time the University of Nairobi ikiona mko karibu kufanya mitihani na inawaambia by next week kama utakuwa umeshalipa mtihani the school fees, you are not sitting for the examinations. Napiga simu mara moja naongea na Salome, ananipanga mbio mbio. So by the time when the exams are already coming, have already been sorted. So my personal experience with Caritas has been enjoyable, if I'm to say. Whenever I'm stuck and very many other things, they are always coming in, and I always feel sorted as fast as possible. They are efficient. When it comes to working with the Nairobi County, there are a bit challenges here and there, but with the Caritas, once you give a call and you have already initiated the process, it takes a couple of 2-3 days and you are sorted. So I want to take this opportunity and say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, and we hope and look forward to partnering with you in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lubobi. We can hear how transforming the Caritas Bank has been. I take this opportunity to apologize on behalf of our systems. There was a power strike. Hata nyinyi mliona there was a bit of power ilifanya hivi. So they're still trying to work on it. So kindly to hear radhi. Next we have Dr. Lawrence Ndombi. Daktari, Dr. Lawrence Ndombi. We give him a big clap. We also have Eric Odipo and Chepukosi, who will also give us a small talk on how the bank has worked with them. The bank has really worked with some of us, and that is why they are willing and are able to come and give us a talk. Karibu sana Daktari. Yes.
Actually, this is a surprise. I didn't expect that I would say anything. Good morning. My voice is loud enough, so I think they knew that I was coming. Yeah. Now, let me start with some contradictions that I had here. What is Sitati? Sitati talked of some slim, tall people who come from some other area. If you see me, I'm not that slim and tall. So that is the first contradiction. The second contradiction, Mr. CEO. 30 years, you're very young, you're great. 30 years in business. Yeah? I'm 35 years in business. And actually, part of what this country needs to do is to change this whole concept of retirement. The guys who have deep skills, competencies, experience, you know, we should never retire. We should actually help in making sure that this country progresses even more. Now, if I give you my own brief profile, I slept at 2 a.m. and actually coming to this event was a little bit difficult. But Mary was very powerful in making sure that I come. I'm operating in a space of several companies. I lead a consulting firm, which is in in Kenya and Rwanda, but we are operating in the Eastern and Southern Africa. It's called Business Partner Consulting. I'm the CEO there because I was the founder. I am chairing a group of hospitals where we are the #2 in Kenya in terms of bed capacity after Nairobi, after Kenyatta Hospital. So if you put the Avenue Group, you put Nairobi Women's, you put Metropolitan, you put Ladnan, we are nearly 1,200 beds. Yeah? That is yeah, several companies within one. In fact, I'm actually very proud to work with your chairman on one of the hospital boards. So I chair that. I also chair another group which is very innovative called Crown Motors. Crown Motors, we have the Nissan brand. We have brought in a powerful brand called Haval, which is the #3 brand in the whole of Africa. So we're just introducing it in Kenya, and we want to make sure that it is going to fly. It is very environmentally friendly, and is one of those that actually is going to plug into the current drive on the environment. Now, that group has Nissan, has Haval. We're bringing in also, the motorbike business is very heavy in this country. We have a brand that we have just introduced, which is coming in, again, very, very heavy. We have another brand which we are calling Midas, which is coming in terms of automobile care. That is the Crown Motors. So you can see another powerful block of business, 35 years in business. I am at the Kenya Bureau of Standards. I'm the one who chairs the standards for the whole of the Kenya in terms of the human resource standards. So we are making sure that, again, that profession is high up there. And several others. Let me stop there. So it means that those of us who are in the space of some, having had all this experience, you are able to do that because of your skills, competencies, and whatever. Please don't retire to the villages. Yeah? And if you have any problem, the European market is ready for the guys who are skilled. So if Kenya thinks that you are off, you are ready to be even better. Talk to the nurses. They will tell you that story. Sorry, I'm going too far. Another contradiction. I thought I was coming for a breakfast. Okay, but when I arrived, I was ushered in very quickly. But it was a breakfast meeting, so don't worry. I had had my own breakfast. So my experience in Caritas, guys, very briefly, I've been with Caritas, and thank you very much. Out of 10 plus vehicles that I have, you know now, in Kenya you have a Nairobi home, you have a Hanap country home, and you have to be as good as, present everywhere else. So 3 of the vehicles that I have through asset financing, it's through Caritas. And, every time that I've come to Caritas, it's been a knock and the door is open. This week is a customer experience week. And in success of any business, among many factors, I look at 2 things. One is the turnaround, okay? When there is a situation, the turnaround in terms of how you are handled. You don't wait for years, you know, the turnaround of what you want. And then that is related also to responsiveness. Now, if I look at just those two factors, Caritas, 10 out of 10, okay? And of course, there are several others. Now, I was sitting there and I didn't know that you guys have such a world of products. Count me in my personal capacity and also in the businesses that I manage. I'll make sure that we have a great conversation going forward. So asanteni, and thank you. Let's keep going. Great journey.
Thank you, Dr. Ndombi. The other contradiction has just walked back. Karibuni sana. Now, we have got Eric Odipo, kindly, because we want to, like Daktari was saying, this is a breakfast meeting, sindio? So the earlier we are able to go through, the earlier we have the breakfast. Karibu sana, Eric. Then after that, we'll have Chepukosi, and we'll finish off with Father Karingo. Karibu, just talk to this through this microphone so that it gets to Capuchin TV.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. By names, I'm Eric Odipo. So I'm a young founder of a company called Fahari Wheels. So here is my journey. Earlier this year, I started, there was this idea to have a private hire company. So I have been in this bank for 20 years. Matter of fact, I used to be a staff member there. In that 20 years, I had taken 3 loans from this bank and paid within the period, managed to pay the loans before time. So when this year came and I was like, so here's a business idea. I already have customers. I have registered my business name. I'm ready to go. I didn't think of Caritas. I didn't think of any other person. I knew, why? Because of the history I've had with them. Shock on me, 3 months down the road, bureaucracy being taken back and forth, and they finally said they are not giving me. So I was like, is there any benefit for being with you for this long? 20 years, surely. I have never defaulted. 3 years, 3 loans I've taken, and I've always paid back even before time. So for whatever reason, I was regarded as risky or whatever. So one morning, I had remembered somebody had given me some conversation about Caritas. So one morning I was very frustrated in walking in town, and I decided to just walk straight into Caritas. I had made some phone calls. I called Mary, and then I walked into the bank. So I met her. I was very agitated. I told her, okay, I'm very frustrated. So I need somebody who can sort me out, and this is the problem, this is the opportunities, and all that. I think in a short while, 2-3 weeks time, I was smiling again, because now I went to the yard, I had my vehicles, and I think I got another vehicle not too long after that. And business is doing well. My customers are very happy, and they're asking for more. So I want to thank Caritas for being I concur and agree with Daktari. The turnaround time is excellent, and customer service is excellent. You supported me. I was in need, and you came through. A bit of crisis there, but you came through and you helped me. And at some point, I also was a bit stuck on the issue of, I was short on the issue of insurance for the car. And you see, my kind of business, you need to make sure insurance is top notch. While I was stranded like that, and then I was introduced to Bank Assurance, therefore I'm also a customer for Bank Assurance. So thank you for working with me, and especially thank you for working with the young generation like us who are beginning to just experience entrepreneurship and are beginning to explore, to learn. We really need hand-holding. And my challenge for you, since it's a customer experience week, is like we are having focus for, say, you are having focus for farmers and other strategic groups. Also have a focus for the youth and young entrepreneurs like ourselves who don't have much access to the finances. Like you can see my case, a bank I've been with 20 years suddenly regard me as a risk. So there are many like, I'm just a representation of many like us who need hand-holding by our bigger brothers and bigger institutions, and we call upon you to be a sanctuary to us. Call upon you to be a sanctuary to us so that we can be able to build. We have great ideas and the market is there. We just need a financial to hold our hands, but to give us a certain strategic focus. You're already doing it in your small way, and I'll be your advocate because of the experience that I have whenever you have such a program. So God bless you.
Thank you, Eric. Now, each and every one of us seated here, in front of you, you found a notebook and a pen, right? I hope you're writing. So there are some who don't have? Or pens? Okay. They are being sorted out. Please raise your hand if you don't have a pen. We even have a table here that has got extras. Kalamu huko nyuma. The reason I'm saying you need to have a notebook and a pen is so that you can jot down, you can write down the ideas that you are hearing. Okay? You're hearing the customer service week, how it's going. You're hearing from the customers themselves what is happening. That here I am, I'm a young person, I'm a youth, and this I have gained ABCD. I've gained this and that. I've been able to do that. People talking about the turnaround time. Situko pamoja. People saying how they have benefited. Ask yourself, jita kamkutano. Now that that gentleman or that lady, that person has been able to do this and that, what about me? What is my relationship with Caritas Microfinance Bank? What is my future? What do I want? Do I want to retire? We've been challenged even about retiring, right? What do I want? What is my vision? How can the bank assist me? Because once we are through with this, we shall have a question and answer session. And even after that, as we are having breakfast, the Caritas Microfinance Bank team will be there to take your questions. There are some issues that are needed one-on-one. Sindio, we shall all be there. We are branded. You'll get us. Please ask us questions. Now, let me call Chepukati from Tuka University. And then after that, we'll close with this customer experience talk with Father Karengo Amutonga. Karibu sana Chepukati. Let's give him a big clap as he comes.
Jamboni. So I have a number of questions, around 3 of them. And maybe before I start, I am actually, it's not Chebukati. Someone talked about misconceptions today. I am actually Chebukosi. I don't know Chebukati. So I am a lecturer at the Technical University of Kenya. I'm a biochemist by training, all the way up to PhD level. Any lecturer in the house? That's the first question. The second question is, any landlords in the house? The third question is, anyone from Tuk like me? I know some 2 guys there. I know them in person. Now, my journey with Caritas started years ago. As we speak, I'm having a long-term loan with them. You see, 5 years ago, I told myself, I'm not going to retire poor. And my journey started there. Then because I'm a product of good mentorship, at least I believe that, my mentors usually tell me, you see what, the moment you're employed, your retirement plan starts from that time. So I was employed 10 years ago. I can say that my journey to retirement started 5 years ago. So I told myself, the best space for me, because I don't want to brush shoulders with people, or I've worked before as a medical representative. If you are dealing with, if you've worked in that space, you know how difficult it is to convince a doctor to buy Any doctors here, first of all? I may say some things that... So that's when my journey started. I told myself that the best retirement plan for me is to be a landlord. And my journey started from there. So with Caritas actually kick-started that journey. But before Caritas, I used to take loans with other banks, which have, some of them have lengthy processes in terms of customer service. Some of them don't do you justice. So I met Salome from Caritas, and the approach she had actually killed it. It's the reason I've stayed with Caritas. The approach she had was very simple. This customer, let me go to his office. He wants a loan? Yes. So let me take care of everything. Don't leave your office. Don't go anywhere. I fill a form. She takes the form all round for all the signatures that are required. My supervisors, that is the head of our school. Then we have our HR. It's a lengthy process, but she did all that. Then the other thing I liked about Caritas is she told me, she promised me in less than a week, 3 days, you'll be having your loan. I thought it was a joke. Then she called me on the 4th day. By the way, Hebu check your account. I checked my account. I tried to withdraw some amount. The account was frozen. Then I called her back again. Why are you freezing my account? You're putting money in my account and freezing the same account. I've never experienced this. Then she told me, no. It is, we have some internal processes, an hour or two you'll have your money. And I tell you, since that time, I've never regretted. So the space that I'm entering in, I've taken 3 loans, one after another, repaying after repaying. I like real estate. I like being a landlord. And because of that, I have another question. Anyone with a real estate agency, you run one maybe, or ever heard about how they operate? You've heard. Then if you've heard about how they operate, you will want to be a house owner or a landlord, because there are so many benefits there. You don't deal with the tenants directly, but they deal with them. You, at the end of the month, every 30th, you get your cash. So I told myself, the retirement age in our line of work for a professor is around 75. If you are just a lecturer who is a PhD holder like me, it's around 60, 65 if the university is lenient. So I told myself, I want to retire by 55. I don't want that 60. But the journey starts now. So thank you, Caritas, for working with me. I will not stop. The journey has just begun. Thank you.
Once again, I pose to you. Are you hearing what is happening? Are you hearing the challenges that are there? Huh? Are you here? Does he look like he wants to retire? Huh? He wants to be a landlord. He wants to be a landowner. Sindio? He wants to be an agent. All those things. Jiita kamkutano. Huh? How would you feel being called, applying for a loan and being told it will come in a week? And then in 4 days' time, you're being told, you receive a phone call that within an hour, that money will be in your account. Inadonjo kwa account. Inado? Ikidonjo kwa account unaangalia ka balance kako. The balance you are expecting of 397 shillings becomes 4.5 million, which you had applied. It is possible. It can be done. It is being done by some people. And I really wonder why you're being left behind. Sir, the last person to give us a talk on customer experience is none other than our good friend, Father Karingo wa Mutonga. Karibu sana, Father. Let's welcome him with a clap. This is a personal friend of mine. Yeye ndio aliniweka hii ring 21 years ago. Thank you so much, Padre.
Thank you.
Okay, talk to this microphone.
God is good and all the time. My experience with you is because I belong to Archdiocese of Nairobi. I'm a priest here for that 7 years. So for all these people you mentioned here, they were my bosses. They were my shepherd. And I was so close to them in different capacity. Number two, when Caritas started, I was the dean here, Central Deanery, for 12 years. Up to last month, by the way, at the time when I was told to go and live with the Cardinal and also help at St. Clare, Hugo Kasarani, Ruaraka. I was working here at St. Peter Clever. And as a dean, most of the Caritas personnel used to come to our meetings. I used to allow them to come for our meetings to discuss with the priest how they can benefit out of the same products which you have given to us of the bank. And they were used to encourage them to open their accounts, because when you took over these parishes, the banks who were there were only Barclays Bank and so forth, the Standard and so forth. So we inherited that kind of system in our parishes. Mine is to thank God because of this wonderful bank. And the people who work there, really, they are very professional and very cooperative. Because in 2015, His Eminence John Cardinal Jue managed to get a school back of St. Peter Clever from the county council, from the public school to become a private school sponsored by the Catholic Church. But we made sure that we also promised the PAs by then that we are going to make it a school which is conducive for people, for the students, very friendly, and manage the best way possible and improve the school. That was the first challenge which I got. The school where it is situated had a lot of mud when it is raining, and therefore it was not very hospitable, not only for the children, also for us Christians there as in Peter Clever. Every year we used to have the family day, and the Cardinal used to come there for the family day. And he used to tell me, Father, we need to put a cabro here. Sitaweza kuwa natembea hapa na ugaogwa na matope na mawe huko. It was a challenge. Malikuwa nasema yeye amejenga huko Cardinal Plaza. Mimi nitatoa wapi hizi pesa? One day we are discussing with the education secretary whom we are living together, Father Kerry, and we said that we are going to take a charge to make sure that our compound will improve it by putting the cabro. Then he requested me to write a letter to his grace. Now is his grace now, so that we can be able to get a loan of 11 million to do some cabro there in the compound. And still, that was not enough. On the top of that, we had to ask for some more, and we got a loan of 18 million to do that work. We are still servicing the same loan, although I'm not there, but I follow it up even wherever I am, because I feel that I'm responsible or whatever happened, that was a part of negotiation with His Grace and also the Caritas personnel bank. And therefore, I know St. Peter Clever now, they will never talk about the problem which has been there from all eternity. From the time when the church started there in 1918, they have never had the cabro. And we also were able to manage to separate the school where it was to the other side whereby the students are not mixing with the Christians, to have their own part so that they can be able to be conducive in their running. I've also seen some of our parishes here in the archdiocese, and which they have developed so much because of your bank, of this bank of ours. This is the child which need to be nurtured very dearly. And I believe all those people who really had this idea, they have empowered us and they have helped us to live a quality life. So don't be afraid to approach them. They are very friendly, and you'll be able to get what you want and improve your businesses. But for us in the church, we only improve our own churches and also our compound and so forth. And we are very happy with you. I just witnessed that because I have interacted with so many priests in the Archdiocese of Nairobi who have benefited in construction of the schools and also the parishes and also improving their compound. Thank you very much. Keep up and God bless you. And we see you when you retire. If you have to retire, you always be a consultant, at least, isn't it? At least you'll be a consultant because of that experience. You should not be able to have the experience not being underutilized when you also retire, because the age, you can catch up with the age and be asked to retire for some reasons. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Padre. Words of wisdom. Sindio? The breakfast is being set up. Now the next session is question and answers. Now, for this session, if it is a burning question, you can come and ask here. Otherwise, you can note it down on a piece of paper, and I'll have some of our staff go around and pick. So it's now your time for questions. If you have any questions on anything that we may have touched, on any of our products, about any of our branches, about where we are moving from, about any assistance you may need, or anything you may want to ask us, this is the time. So that from there, after the question and answers, then we'll be able to have our breakfast. If you have a question, please, you can raise your hand. Otherwise, you can note the question down, and we have got our team here that will effectively be able to read what you've written down, and possibly when you're having breakfast, we can be able to give you the answers. Because we want to save on time, as Dr. Lawrence had said, we came for breakfast. Sindio? Yeah. Questions? Yani tumewapatia marking scheme, sindio? Questions and answers. Tumewapatia marking scheme. Ukitaka kujua mambo ya asset finance, Dr. Ndombi was here. Ukitaka kujua mambo ya kuwa land owner, sindio? Chebukosi was here. So any questions you may have had has already been answered. Anything you may have had inside you, I wish, I want, can I, should I, will I, yote mejibiwa, sindio? So we'll collect the questions as we go along. Now let me call upon the team that is doing the cake cutting. We have got Salome and Rosemary Maina. We have cake cutting, and then from there we can have the breakfast. But so far, so good. So far, so good. I believe you've all been able to understand about our products, about the bank. The CEO articulated about the way forward, what we've been able to discuss, what we've been able to sit down, what the bank envisions our future to be. He said one of our directors was a director at Centenary Bank in Uganda. That is the biggest bank in Uganda. I can assure you, with your cooperation, with your assistance, okay?